Hello friends, I am Kirandeep Garg from UGM Shiksha Kendra. Today is the third part of chapter 3. Chapter 3 is basically regulation of banking business. This is the last part of the chapter 3. In this chapter we have to discuss basically maintenance of cash reserve and maintenance of liquid assets. So let's start with the today's lecture. I am Kirandeep Garg from UGM Shiksha Kendra. Our Facebook page is Aim to Achieve and our Telegram group is Jab UGM. All our lectures are updated in our Telegram group or on our Facebook page. And before watching, basically after watching the video, revise the notes, and after that watch the MCQ video. MCQ video is uploaded tomorrow of chapter 3rd. So first of all you have to watch the video, then read the notes, handwritten notes, and after that watch the MCQ video. For handwritten notes you have to mail on our email ID ugem2493@gmail.com. So let's start with the today's lecture. First is maintenance of cash reserve. Basically cash reserve, all scheduled commercial banks or non-scheduled commercial banks have to maintain some cash with RBI. So how? First of all we have to discuss regarding scheduled commercial banks. Basically scheduled commercial banks are those banks which are present in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1934. So scheduled banks have to maintain cash reserve with RBI under section, most important, under section 42 of which act? Of RBI Act 1934. Basically for scheduled banks they have to maintain a cash reserve under section 42 of the RBI Act 1934, and for the non-scheduled banks section 18, under section 18 of the Banking Regulation Act. For non-scheduled commercial banks section is 18 and section is of Banking Regulation Act 1949, and for the scheduled commercial bank section is 42 and of RBI Act 1934. Further, some points of scheduled bank. There we have to discuss some points regarding the scheduled bank. First of all, scheduled banks are those banks which are under second schedule. Some problem regarding slide. Second schedule of RBI Act 1934. Second point is RBI can include any bank in the second schedule if RBI can include any bank in the second schedule if the bank follows some condition. What are the some conditions? First condition, paid up capital and reserves of that bank is not less than 5 lakh. Present value is very high, but we have to discuss regarding the book. Update value or the update notification we have discussed in further lecture, in any other lecture, but here we have to discuss regarding all the values with respect to book. Paid up capital not less than 5 lakhs. Second condition is either it is a divided into 3 to 4 parts. Either it is a state cooperative bank. Second one is, or either it is a company under section 3 of Companies Act 1956 or 2003, or third one is institution notified by the central government. For all the capital reserve is to be minimum 5 lakh. So these are the some conditions if any bank want to enter under the second schedule of the RBI Act. Further is, wait a minute, we have changed to, so there are any issues. Let's start with the quantum of cash reserve. How much cash reserve is to maintain? Basically the amount that scheduled commercial banks, basically the amount that scheduled commercial banks have to be maintained with the RBI. Basically this is such percentage. How much percent? Basically the amount that scheduled commercial banks have to maintain with the RBI is an average, basically it is an average daily balance, of which average daily balance of such percentage, of which of total net NDTL, net demand and time liabilities, basically of which such percentage, how much percentage we have discussed further, basically such percentage of total net demands and time liabilities. And further, what is included in the net time and net demand and time liabilities, and what is the meaning of average balance? First of all, we have to discuss the meaning of average balance. Average balance means the average of the balance. Basically average balance means average of balance at the close of business of each day, at the close of business of each day for fortnight. Fortnight means basically for 14 days. इतना बैलेंस उन लोगों को मेंटेन करना पड़ता है, डेली का ही काउंट होता है एवरेज डेली बैलेंस. जितना बेसिकली एवरेज डेली बैलेंस मीन्स एट द क्लोज ऑफ द बिजनेस ऑफ ईच डे, डे एंड, basically on the day end, basically the average on the day end. After that, one more point, the liabilities, basically net demand and time liabilities does not include paid up capital. This is note point, paid up capital. This means that a liability does not include paid up capital and reserves and or any balance in profit and loss account. So these are the some balance which are not included in the liabilities. First is paid up capital and reserves or any other balance in the profit and loss account. Further interest like bank deposit money with RBI. So RBI, like bank has deposit money with RBI 1 lakh. Basically this is the minimum amount that bank has to deposit with RBI, but bank deposit with RBI actually 2 lakh. So RBI can give any interest on this amount or the extra amount or not. So here this is the meaning of question, why whether RBI give interest on that amount or on the excess amount or on the difference between the excess amount and the minimum amount. This is the minimum, this is the total, or this is the excess. So till or before 2006 or till 2006, RBI was authorized to pay interest. Basically RBI was authorized to pay interest on reserves, basically on reserves above the minimum reserve. Like here RBI can pay the interest basically on reserve above the minimum reserve. Here the minimum reserve we can assume that 1 lakh, and bank deposit total with RBI 2 lakh. Basically bank give interest on excess. Excess is 1 lakh and interest is given before 2006. After 2006 the act has been amended. Basically RBI Act amended and interest has been omitted under section 42(1) of the RBI Act. Initially the banks have to deposit the cash reserve with the RBI under section 42 of the RBI Act 1934, but after 2006 RBI amended this act and omitted the provision of interest rate on the deposits under section 42(1) of the RBI Act 1934 or amended Act 2006. After that, returns. This is also important. What is the meaning of return? Basically every scheduled bank, every scheduled commercial banks has to submit a return. Basically every scheduled commercial bank has to submit a return with RBI. Basically return, what it shows? It shows the time and demand and time liabilities. Basically return shows the demand and time liabilities, and borrowings, how much we borrow from that, from banks, borrowings from banks under section 42(2) of the RBI Act 1934. Under section 42(2) of the RBI Act 1934. And when the return is to file, basically return has to be filed at the close of business on each alternate Friday. When? On each alternate Friday return, and has to be sent to RBI not later than 7 days. Basically after closing of Friday, basically every alternate Friday, after that letter is to be sent to RBI not later than 7 days. Basically means within 7 days this return is to be submitted to RBI. And one more information, if the alternate Friday is having holiday under, basically in banks holidays are under NI Act. If the relevant Friday or the alternate Friday is a holiday under NI Act, the return has to be prepared. At a close of proceeding working day. Return has to prepared at a close of proceeding working day. Basically you have to remind all the acts. After that, penalty. This is important also. Like basically RBI ask bank like to maintain 1 lakh with him, 1 lakh as a cash reserve, but due to some conditions like ABC Bank has not able to maintain 1 lakh with RBI as a minimum reserve. So RBI can put a penalty. On ABC Bank. How much bank has to pay as a penalty? There are 2 to 3 points. During first fortnight. This is the penalty. The penal interest is 3% above the bank rate. During the first fortnight, the penal interest is 3% above the bank rate, and in the second, if shortage remains further, like bank does not have deposit sufficient amount in the next fortnight, if the shortage remain further or continue for next fortnight, the penalty is 5% above the base rate. 5% above the base rate. This time penalty is 5% above the base rate. For the first fortnight, 3% above the base rate. For the next fortnight, it is to be 5% above the rate. Bank rate, not base rate, bank rate. And further, if shortage falls persistent in third fortnight, then every director, basically then director and manager of that company is liable to be is punishable with the fine. After third fortnight is punishable with the fine. And one more point, when penalty is imposed, basically when penalty is imposed on any bank, then it has to pay the penalty amount within 14 days. This question also comes in the previous exam. Within how many days the bank has to pay the amount, basically penalty amount. The bank has to pay the penalty amount within 14 days from the notice, from the day of notice. So here this is the penalty. And after that, cash reserve for non-commercial banks. In the starting of the lecture, we have discussed that under section 18 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, non-scheduled commercial banks have to be maintain some cash reserve. But here one exception, these cash reserve has not need to be maintained with the RBI. Not need to be maintained with RBI. Important point. So where the non-scheduled commercial banks have to maintain this cash reserve, it has to be maintained cash reserve with itself or with in the current account, maintained with RBI, either it has to be maintained the cash reserve with itself or to be maintained with the RBI, and penalty is same if the balance is less than the stipulated or the minimum balance. And some more points you have to read in the notes that are not that much important but also important for further understanding of the topic. And for next point is maintenance of liquid assets. Basically every banking company has to maintain such percentage of the liquid asset under section 24 of the Banking Regulation Act. Basically every banking company has to maintain some percentage of the Banking Regulation Act under section 24 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Earlier, initially the minimum requirement is 25%, but later this value is to be amended and it is not exceeding the value maintenance of liquid assets, it is not exceeding 40% of the total net demand and time liabilities. Not exceeding 40% means at least 40%, not exceeding, basically not exceeding, not less than, at least 40%. not less than 40% of the net time and net demand and time liabilities of which time, basically of as on last Friday of succeeding fortnight. Basically the amount is to be 40% of total net demand and time liabilities as on the last Friday of succeeding fortnight. So this is the percentage. Initially it is 25% and after that it is to be 40% of the net demand and time liabilities, and it is under section 24 of the Banking Regulation Act. And this is the last point, assets in India. Basically every banking company has to maintain some amount of assets, some amounts of asset as under, this is the amount of asset as under section 25 of the Banking Regulation Act. Section 25 of the Banking Regulation Act. And these assets can be either gold or unencumbered securities. Assets can be either gold or unencumbered securities approved by RBI. Unencumbered securities approved by RBI. Or further, assets may include, one more point, assets may include most important, which we have discussed later in detail, but here we have write export bill. Asset may include export bill drawn in and import bill drawn on. Export bill drawn in, export basically in, import basically on, and both are approved by RBI. This is also included in the assets which have to be maintained under section 25 of the Banking Regulation Act. And return has to be filed under section 25(1). Return has to be filed under section 25(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. Say basically the amount which the banks have to be maintained, it's to be the return filed with respect to the RBI under section 25(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. And here the return basically in the liquid assets, in liquid asset return or any other, basically this is any other minimum requirement is with respect to fortnight. Here in assets the minimum requirement or basically the amount of assets which have to be maintained is with respect to the quarter. So return has to be filed within 1 month after the end of quarter, and it has to be returned under section 25(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. So here we have completed chapter 3 of legal. So till now we have completed chapter 1, 2 and 3, theory, and MCQs of chapter 1 and 2. The next lecture basically is of chapter 3 MCQ. Before MCQ you have to read notes. For notes you have to mail on our official email ID. And if you like our lecture, please share this lecture with your friends and also subscribe our channel. Thank you.